My name is Good Brother EU,
And this is Good Brother Marv.
and you're watching us on Chester View.
Hey, thank you for tuning in. We are going to have a good show with some good brothers in the studio today. Hey, fellas, introduce yourself to the people.
My name is Emmanuel Gilbert, known as Good Brother E. They call me EU. We on Good Brother Show on every Sunday from 12 to 2.
What's going on, peeps? Good Brother Marv. My name is Good Brother Marvin as well. You pick and choose what you want to do. But once again, you can catch us on YouTube, SoundCloud, cmpradio.net, the website, also on the Facebook page, both CMP Radio as well as Good Brother Talk. And if you want to follow us a little bit, you can also check us out on Instagram, the same thing, Good Brother Talk.
All right, all right. So I like the fact that the title of your show is declaring. When you greet, I'm declaring you to be this good brother or this good sister. Why? How did you decide to pick that name for your show?
Well, it was a long time ago. Like we said this, we tell this story all the time, so it was a long time ago. We get tired of the word, the N-word. People keep calling, what's up, the N-word, but we try to replace it because it makes you feel hard. It doesn't make you feel like a person. And then when other cultures use it, you get angry. So when we said now, what's up, good brother, you know, it makes you feel good about yourself. And then you change the whole attitude of another brother or a sister.
Yeah, and it's kind of piggyback that, I mean, that N-word is something that, especially as a young person, I'm guilty of charge. There you go. I used it a whole lot until one of my old heads had sat back and checked me and was like, listen, yo, we're going to stop that right now. You can't roll with me if you're using that word. You're going to have to replace it. And I'm like, perplexed. Well, I'm going to use that. Just use good brother. Yeah. You're a good brother, right? Slowed me up. Yeah. Maybe I am a good brother. I'm not doing nothing too bad. And then it kind of just stuck. Then, you know, once I met my brother from a different mother over here, you know, we shared some dreams and aspirations. And later on down the line, thinking about a show, a name, it was a perfect fit.
Yes.
Yeah, can't complain.
See, two good brothers come together, can't be nothing but good, right? So tell us about your show. To pick a show, I want both of y'all to pick a show in your mind. Tell us about that show, who you had on it, what people got from it.
Well, my show was an incarceration show. We talked about incarceration, how it affects the family, the community, and you as an individual. We had Jonathan Abdul Rahim King on the show.
Roll of the tongue.
And we have a man, Dean Martin, on the show. And we talked about incarceration. See, why do we think that's cool? Why do we think that's a rite of passage when we get incarcerated? That's not a rite of passage. It makes life hard. First of all, we already got life. It's already hard for us because what OGs used to tell me, your skin is your sin. So we already have a strike against us already. So if you know the system is against you, why would you keep going to the system? Why do you keep, it's a cat and mouse game, but we always losing. But it's even harder for you to get a job. You go in there, you go to work every day for 8 cents an hour, 4 cents an hour, but yet you can't come out here and crawl and start walking and go to the mountaintop. You feel me? So that's one of my favorite shows that we had on, and I love that show because part 2 is supposed to come tomorrow, and I didn't want to give it up, but I had to because I do really want to. Because like I hate to use it, number 45. He learned from Hitler. He said if you repeat something 3 times, people start believing it. So you have to start talking about that incarceration thing so we can change our mindset.
I know that's right because it was one time I saw some kids like, I gotta go see my PO. Like it was something good. If I was like, I was in juvie. What? That ain't nothing to be proud about.
That's the new cool.
And it's sad, but you know, as we continue to show them that there are other ways, because some kids, even with working volunteering with the youth, is some kids that never saw a deer. We took them to camp in the Poconos. They was like, whoa. I'm like, and it didn't dawn on me. I'm like, wow, you know, this is really needed because But kids like thinking that POs is cool and juvie and being out. It's just crazy.
But at the same token, you got to understand, they're not exposed to anything. But we take it for granted that they went to Red Lobster, that they went to Olive Garden. They didn't. I did an experiment. It wasn't even an experiment. I treated my kids from school. I took them to Olive Garden, took them to the movies to see Fences first. So we're going to open a dialogue and talk about what did you learn from the movie. So when after that, I took them to Olive Garden. They didn't know how to order. They ate bread when it came out. Because I always tease them, we're not eating Chinese food. We're not eating chicken fingers and french fries. So y'all going to have to order your own food. I want y'all to be different. Dare to be different. So when the bread came out, they ate all the bread. So they couldn't even eat the food that they ordered.
Because they thought that was it.
No,
they think that was it?
They didn't know that the bread is going to make you full. So they were drinking the water and the juices and eating the bread. You know the bread swells up.
Yeah.
They don't know that. Bread is like a little appetizer. You
take a little bit while the food comes. Oh, you had to train them.
So they took it home, But the long story short, I had some negative feedback because they wanted to go live. Mr. E, we having fun with Mr. E. Then somebody wrote my job a letter. How could you let this ex-convict take your kids out it looks bad for your company? So that's some of the stuff that our kids got to deal with, and they got to know you're going to have negative feedback all your life.
And you won't see the positive in what is being done.
There you go.
I have the same thing because again with the kids, we went to Dairy Queen. And for some reason, we look in like, what do you want? And they kind of was like a little shook. I'm like, have you been to Dairy Queen before? They was like, no. And on the ride home, he's like, can you take me home last because I want to be able to eat all of my ice cream? Because if I take it in the house, I'm going to have to share. Whew, your story.
Well, I'm going to say, all the shows of Good Brother Talk, they're my favorite. But if I had to pick and choose, I would say that anytime that we bring somebody on that uses Good Brother Talk as a platform, you kind of see that artist or that business person, that entrepreneur, or that aspiring who they want to be. They get on the show and it's like, okay, this is my moment, my one moment, like Eminem. And for them not only to promote their thing, but also to engage in the Good Brother Talk and the segments that we have. You start to see the diverse intellect that you get from people that you would never think had any of that, just because you can't judge a book by its cover. So I'm going to say any show that we have a guest that comes on and have a cause or a business or anything of the nature that they believe in, that's self-made, just giving them a chance to have a platform to kind of live through it. That's an awesome feeling. It's amazing. It's something that every time we have somebody on, you just want to kind of hit on that goal.
I totally agree because we've been doing the show in Philly for about 5 years, but we decided to bring it back home. We said, you know what, let's bring this back to Chester. Let's do production here in Chester. So you guys had awarded us with the...
Yeah. There's on our show.
Yes! So it was like, wow. I'm like, once we made that decision to, let's bring it back home, and then that was just like, yeah, you're doing the right thing. So that was, thank you guys, because... it was like, okay, do we stay in Philly? Do we come back? And then y'all get there. It's like, yeah, we got to come back.
So that's like a recruiting pitch a little bit, huh? I'll take it. We batting 1 for 1.
So it's good because the same thought process that you guys are having is the same thought process that we're having. Because I had one guy inbox me. He's like, I don't have no album or nothing, but, do you think I can come on your show? I'm like, yeah,
right.
Just hold the cuss words and come on. And it was like, for them to think that they couldn't come on the show. It's like, okay, that speaks to our quality of product, but I'm like, you should feel, hey, can I come on your show, period. So we got to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to talk about some things that we feel that could be adjusted in the community, that can be changed, things that we can put in place. So we're going to talk about things that can move us forward, not things that can take us back. We'll be right back.
Tell me, can you see it? The flashing red light of the alarm. My heart. We never used to be this. We never used to cause each other harm. These scars, I know that we can heal them. I'm gonna feel at home again.
Yo, good brothers and sisters, I'm your host, Good Brother Marv from the Good Brother Talk with my brother from a different mother.
Good brother E.
Our show is all about spreading positivity, having fun, talking about those real topics, getting down and dirty with it, but also do it with a purpose.
And if you have any topics that you would like to discuss, feel free to come on in, get in touch with Good Brother Marv and myself, or call the show, or come on in. We'll love you, have you on the show.
You can reach us on Facebook on our Good Brother page, Good Brother Talk. You can check us out on our Instagram page, Good Brother Talk. Also, cmpradio.net. If you have a phone, because you don't do social network, you can hit us up on the Live 365 app.
You can tune in to us every Sunday from 12 to 2. Every Sunday from 12 to 2. Come on and join your brothers.
Until then, continue to spread the positivity. Peace.
Welcome back. We are here with some good brothers from the Good Brother Talk Show. EU, Marv, they are in the studio. So let's talk about community. Now, I know that y'all had a run with the political field. What are some things that you've learned in that race? Because I know it was a lot going on, and not to throw anybody under the bus, but I'm sure there's a lot of things that you say, you know what, on a positive note, I would have thought about this, I would have done that. So things that you learned, that if you had to give somebody some tips that might be thinking about running, what would be some of the things you would encourage them with?
It's a heavy question. Want to take first crack?
For me, it was a great experience. I mean, even though we got into the race late, we started in February, it was over in November. But it was a great experience because now you have to appear public speaking. I don't really like it. But now, since we were in office, we had to speak everywhere. So you had to brush up on your game. So at the end, you can't sit up there and say, you know what I mean? You gotta code switch.
You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what you're saying.
And you have to be articulate in explaining what your dreams and your vision, what your visions are. So, but that bottom line, it's not a bad thing. I don't like the smearing stuff, the smear campaign stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody that was running, they're good people. But I wish they talk about the topics and what we need to do, because we all got one common goal: to see a better town. But if you smearing me and I'm smearing you, we teaching these gangs how to do that to each other.
Exactly.
So the one thing I say, I met a lot of people, and if I was to give somebody a tip, I say, if you willing to dedicate your time, all of your time, mine is not seeing your family, might for a smidget, go for it. But don't sit back and complain, don't do nothing. But if you want to dedicate all your time, because that's what it's going to be, your time. You're running here, you're running there, you're running there, but guess what? It's all worth it at the end, especially if you could change things.
Right.
I'm gonna say, first of all, it definitely was an amazing experience. It was a very humbling experience. Just those 11 months, it was like, wow, we out there, and now that we out there, we're not in the shadows anymore. Now we gotta double down and pretty much show everybody what we've been standing for behind the scenes. And in the beginning, that was something I wasn't comfortable with doing, because things come natural, but now you got the public eye on you all of a sudden. Now that's a whole different set of responsibility. So from that moment, that was the biggest learning experience for me, besides it being an amazing experience, just knowing that you're in the public eye. So across the board, everything you do, everything you say, it can be put underneath scrutiny. It can cause all kinds of rifts. To kind of piggyback what he said with the smear campaign and stuff like that, you hope that don't go on. And we definitely had like a pretty much per se a clean campaign. And once again, finally, what I would pass on to other people that I learned was, I realized that the city, there's a lot of people that care. And I'm gonna say even beyond this Chester, anybody, any community that together like that, their residents, they care. But on the same token, on the other hand, they're tired. So, when we coming out there and promoting voting and all that kind of stuff, yes, you're going to get some blowback because of that. So, like I said, it was an amazing experience. You got to be committed, and just know that the people in this city truly, genuinely, they do care.
I'd like to say one more thing, though. On that note, I'm tired of this Republican-Democrat thing. If we're Chester, we as one. And I didn't say that grammarly correct. We as one. Now I can say we are one.
The point, you make it a point.
We as one. It shouldn't be a party, because if you keep us divided, we're always going to be fighting. We're always going to fight each other. So now let's drop that. I don't care if you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. If we can work together, let's work together. If you're good at something,
Exactly.
do your thing and let me do mine. That's it. Let's come together as one.
Exactly. And because I don't get that voting for somebody that you know is not a good candidate just because of a party. That makes no sense.
It doesn't. And even when you win, you don't clean house. Because like I said, if that person good at communicating or negotiating, leave that person on, no matter what title they have. I'm not against hiring family. If my family got a good work ethic, guess what? Come on board. We're gonna clean the city up because your kids live here. We want the best. Presentation means a lot. So if we can clean our city up, that's for starters. Then you change the mindset of the kids. And I always say this, with all our football, basketball, Biddy League, Chester Panthers, Chester Township, Cougars, adopt the alleyway. Make the kids clean the alleyway. Because now if the kids start cleaning a block or alleyway, guess what's going to happen? Now they got pride. I cleaned that alley. Don't litter there.
Listen, you better pick that wrapper up. Pick them hers chips up.
So now they're going to start seeing I take pride in my community. And that's how we got to do it.
That is true. So before we go, let's talk about changing the kids' mind. What are some things that you feel can be done in the community that will help change the mind of the kids?
I think first and foremost, a commitment from the community where, now don't be reactive, be proactive. Don't just have programs out here just for the heading. Actually live through it. If you want to put your time into the kids, literally put whatever gifts that God has given you, put into those kids, and they'll see that at an early stage. And then know what? Maybe someone will slip through the cracks. We can't control that, but for the most part, it will kind of show as an example. Okay, this is what can be. Because once we don't do something as a community or as people that's responsible for the kids, when they get to that age where they got to kind of figure out whether to fend for themselves or entrust the community to stand behind them, let's be honest, they're going to go in and fend for self because they never had a rapport with the community. So I say just make sure the community residents, if they have these things for kids, albeit if it's programming, stuff with sports or any type of hobby, anything that's involving an adult with a kid, pour yourself into it.
Because kids know the difference.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think we should go back to where when we were growing up, we had jobs at 14. We had working papers. It's a missing resource in our community. So if our kids don't know how to save $1 or finance, management, money, they don't understand that. If they don't have jobs, guess what? Can you imagine a 14-year-old making like $180 every 2 weeks? That $180 is a lot to them. So now they're figuring, I'm helping my family.
Pride in their.
I'm
These
taking
my
pride.
sneakers. My sneakers.
Now-
I brought these sneakers.
Right. Now they earning things. But they so used to being giving. I'm gonna give my kids everything I ain't have. Nah, I give them morals,
Might be a
respect, and
problem.
values.
Yes.
And once the parents start getting involved in their education, because I know when my aunts and them sat down at the table with me and told me to read, I might not like it, but in kindergarten, elementary,
You ain't had no choice.
I liked it though. I like going to school. I like going to school in elementary because my mom was happy. Everybody, your teachers embraced you all the time. So I don't understand why kids come to school angry all the time right now. I know some reasons. It's food, they're hungry, it's learned
Violence.
behavior, and violence. So if you start giving the kids a sense of belonging with jobs at 14, I guarantee you we'll change our city around real fast.
That is true because we had summer jobs. And the thing is, I was always a year behind because my birthday was at the end of the year. But my girlfriend, she would always work at the boys club as a lifeguard. And I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do. We going to work. I didn't go to work, but then when she got paid, we got paid. We went shopping. So it's still, even though I was not the direct person with the job, but it still affected me to see her go to work, to see her be able to go in the collars and cuffs. Throwback.
Throwback.
Get the coach shorts. Yes, we had the coach shorts with the back.
We had the tight coat shorts.
Way that. You may not know nothing about that, but it was just, I remember that so many years ago. I remember that.
But again, our kids not exposed to a lot of things. Ask, for example, do me a favor. Ask your kids to name you 5 occupations. Ask them what a career is, him or her what a career is. And then you can understand, you'll see what track they're on or which way they're going to go. Our kids don't know what a career is.
Right.
Our kids don't know what an occupation is. They think basketball and football is the only thing that we can do. And I give another example. I used to come home, when I first started working at the school, I was dressed up. The kids only said, Mr. E, you going to church? Or you going to a wedding? Or you going to a funeral? Because they're not used to seeing black men dressed up. And we got to change that mindset. And I always like to use that word, change the mindset. I always like to use that little phrase because we do have to change our mindset.
That's where it starts. Well, we are getting ready to wrap this up. As you can see, the good brothers have good conversation. So you want to make sure that you tune in to cmpradio.net on Sundays from 12 to 2. So again, give them your handle so they can reach out to y'all. Maybe somebody might have some good brother and some good sister talk they might want to share, or, you know, throw a topic out there. How could they reach y'all again?
Well, you can hit us up on the Facebook. So our Facebook users, Good Brother Talk. You can also go to CMP Radio Net Facebook site, as well as on Instagram, Good Brother Talk once again. Also on YouTube, you can catch all the videos there. Back to Facebook, like our page. We can make you be a member of our group. So just check us out, give us support, and as usual, share with the good brothers and sisters out there that you feel as though that could use some of that good uplifting right there.
Energy is transfers. So make sure you stay in the right place with the right people, with the right energy, and some good brothers and some good sisters. So thank y'all for hanging out with us today.
No problem. It was a pleasure.
All right, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Tell me, can you see it? The flashing red light of the alarm. My heart. We never used to be this. We never used to cause each other harm. These scars, I know that we can heal them. I'm gonna feel at home again in your arms. Hold on. All our way we're breaking down. Walls are how we breaking down.
Tune in every morning, Monday through Friday from 10 to 12 for the morning meeting with myself and Nafati. Every morning, 10 to 12, only on cmpradio.net. We talk about everything that's going on in the community. I love my city. Chester, stand up. cmpradio.net. You already know, giving a voice to the voiceless. It's Mr. Yeah, I Said It. Signing off.